Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And on to something that's kind of been brewing in my head over the last couple days, and I think it really hit home and registered for me during a live on 4th of July afternoon. Shout out to all of you in the live. That was a great time. A lot of mix of old and new school fans in there. I'll be looking to do more lives with improved technology in the very near future. And what I really realized was that right now our fan base is kind of divided, if you will. Fractured, segmented. It's divided into two groups. It's into two groups, and there's little subgroups. I'll get to that in a minute. But I realize with talking to you all on this channel and seeing people's reactions to other channels and what they say about them, not everything is for everybody. Not everyone's going to like everything. I certainly am not for everybody. Some people like me. Some people love me. Some people despise me. Some people are whatever. It is what it is. Not everything is for everybody. And so, unfortunately, for a lot of you, I am not going to be for you. I try to speak my truths, what I really think, how I really feel. Often I am a little emotional and a little overreactive on occasion. I want this team to succeed more than anything. And a lot of times, it might come off as negative or pessimistic. And that's not what I'm trying to do here whatsoever. I am just giving my thoughts a lot of the time in real time, very real time. And sometimes it comes off as negative or whatever you want to call it. And that's fine. It probably is sometimes. But I'm giving what I really feel, and I think a lot of fans, either agree with me, some adamantly disagree with me, and it is what it is. I think our fan bases right now, like I said, we're fragmented into two groups, the old school versus the new school, the Lou era versus the Fitz kids, and sometimes it gets ugly, and it gets ugly in chats, it gets ugly in comments. When I started the channel, I wanted to give you guys a view into some things you might not be able to see, especially if you live out of the market. So whether that's interviews or behind-the-scenes stuff, camp footage, things like that. Oh, and the development camp the other day was awesome. I got to see number 10 overall pick Anton Salayev up close and personal. This man is a monster, a 6'7" monster of a boy, actually. He's 18 years old. When he fills out in 2 or 3 years when he comes to the Devils, hopefully he's an absolute beast for us on the blue line. But check out some of those videos on the channel, from the development camp. I have one of just Salayev and then one that's more of like a mixture of everything. Really cool time. But I try to bring value to you guys, bring some entertainment, and have constructive conversations and debates, if you will. And a lot of times it gets ugly because, we are a frustrated fan base, or at least I think a lot of us are. And so back to that old school versus new school, I think a lot of times people are getting, overly nasty in the comments. And it's discouraging to see. Look, guys, we're all Devils fans here. There's no need to do that. There's no need to be a troll or an ass. Just be nice to people, man. You guys are killing me. You could disagree with people. People disagree with me all the time. In a lot of situations, there is no right or wrong. This is all opinion-based conjecture, if you will, and conversation. And so I think everyone just needs to tone it down a little bit. We're all here for the Devils. We're all passionate Devils fans. We all want the Devils to succeed and ultimately win a cup. We really want to see the Devils win a cup. And so I am an old school fan. I grew up during the Dynasty years under Lou Lamoriello, the great Martin Brodeur, Scott Stevens, Scott Niedermayer, Kenny Danico, the McKays, Holiks, Lemieux, Gomez's, Pandos, Maddens, Rafalskis. I could go on and on. Sikora, Elias, Arnotts. These are legendary names. So listen, my expectations, and a lot of people that are my age or older, our expectations are different. And the reality is we saw championships. We lived through it. And so to be this bad for years and years, it is painful. And so a lot of us are frustrated, some to a higher extent or level than others. I am very frustrated. I am rooting for Tom Fitzgerald to succeed, and I think you all should too. There is no point in constantly lambasting this man. You could respectfully voice your displeasure or disagreement with moves he is or is not making. That's fair. I mean, in a job like this, I think part of their job is being criticized, unfortunately. But I think the fashion in which a lot of people go about it is a little over the top. I'm convinced there's certain people here that no matter what Fitzgerald does, they're gonna kill him. And I mean, listen, that's your prerogative. I don't agree with it. I think sometimes you have points that are rooted in fact or reason, but a lot of times people are irrational. And I realize this is the internet, and so humans in general are nuts. The internet is a collection of even crazier people, and then you go down to sports fans, and it just gets nuttier and nuttier. And so I understand the comments are always going to be the jungle. There's going to be people out there for blood and kills, and it's just not necessary. Just try to treat everybody like a human being. I don't think there's any need for the name calling and all this stuff. And listen, I have thick skin. I really don't care. I could take it. A lot of people hate me. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. Don't watch the show or continue watching. Love or hate me, I love you all. Keep watching. But a lot of you guys are just really going for the throat in the comments. It's kind of nuts. And we're all just here for the Devils, guys. We are all Devils fans. We want the Devils to win. And so I think respectful, normal conversation or healthy debate is fine. But a lot of you guys have just gone over the top, and it's discouraging to see as a fan that other Devils fans are at each other like this. I just really think it comes down to that new school versus old school. So again, the old school guys, we have higher expectations. We want to win every year. We want to at least be in the conversation, in the mix to push for a cup. And we've not been getting that recently. And so a lot of people are just getting more and more fed up over time. And I totally get it. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle of all this because I am fed up too, but I'm not going to, criticize Fitzgerald for every single little thing. And a lot of you think I'm super negative. Like I said, look in the comments. If you think I'm negative, there's people that are off the charts negative in the comments. Completely off the charts. I'm not one of those people. I try to be fair. I try to be level-headed. Sometimes I overreact a bit in the moment. It is what it is. Usually I calm myself down and reel it back a little bit if necessary. But in the end, I am very happy with this New Jersey Devils team heading into next season. Markstrom's going to be a beast for us. Our defense is totally revamped. And we got some absolute bulldogs now. Cotter, Noesen, Dillon's a little bit of a violent gentleman. Kovacevic is definitely a violent gentleman. And so, guys, the team is going to be better. We got quite the overhaul in one offseason. A lot of people are killing Fitz for the top 6 miss. I'm not killing him for it. I just wish we got it. And I was a little disappointed, and I voiced my displeasure with that. But with that being said, he did address 4 out of the 5 spots he was trying to fill. And so a lot of you are super negative about the top 6 miss. I do agree that Tatar is not a legitimate top 6 guy. I like Tatar, but let's be honest, it is what it is. But hopefully the other improvements throughout the roster balance out that lack of a quote-unquote legitimate top 6. And I will also say, with that being said, that a lot of people are like, name a better top 6, this and that, and people coming after me. I do believe that because of how good the top 4 we have are in our forward group, I do believe because of how good they are, that overall our top 6 is amongst the best in the league. I fully believe that. I think a lot of people, even fans of other teams, would agree with that as well. Because how good the top 4 are, the top 6 overall is very good. But you can't deny that it could have been better. And I'm being greedy. Yes, I am. My expectations are sky high. The Lou Lamoriello gold standard, we want to win the cup every year. And this is where it comes to the fans that are a little more patient, believe in the process, yada, 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 or looking down the road. And that's fine, too. That's your own personal viewpoint, opinions. You're entitled to that. Absolutely. I don't share that opinion with you, but you're entitled to it, and I respect it. I understand a lot of people are playing the long game. I am tired of playing the long game. I'm trying to play the right now game. And I think that's where a lot of fans are as well. And so it does come down to kind of an ideological difference. And this kind of goes back to the draft as well. A lot of people are saying, don't ever draft at the pick, trade it for immediate help. I was one of those people. I wasn't an absolutist. I said I would like to see immediate help. If it doesn't materialize, then I'm okay with drafting it and get the best possible guy you can. And that's what played out. We got Salayev. He kind of fell down. A lot of drafts projections had him in the top 5, and he kind of fell to us. And I like the pick. I saw him up close. He's going to be a monster of a man, and he could be a great defenseman for years to come for the New Jersey Devils. But I was hoping before the draft to get the immediate help. There's the people that were like 100% draft with it. Don't consider trading it. This would be foolish. When are we going to be picking this high again? And you're entitled to that opinion as well. Again, it is an ideological difference. The win now mentality, which I'm in, versus the build for the future and don't try to win once, try to win for years. A lot of people keep saying that. And I do think when you go in win now mode, you can win for a few years. But a lot of people are more of the long game, and that's fine. You are entitled to that opinion, but I think that mostly comes down to, as I've now identified after talking to a lot of you and reading the comments, it's come down to kind of old school versus new school. And it is what it is, but the common ground is that we are all New Jersey Devils fans. We all want to see a cup. We all want Fitz to do well. We all want the boys to do well. So everyone just behave a little bit. Behave a little bit, because sometimes the negativity is wild, and people are going to say I'm negative, and that's fine. Sometimes it probably does come off as that. I don't mean to do that. I love the Devils more than anything. I'm here talking to you all, making videos, trying to show you cool stuff. And I'm just here for the ride. I'm enjoying all of it. It's been a great time. It's been awesome meeting a lot of you, either in person or through chats and emails and things of that nature. But I just think everyone has to realize that different people are at different points in their fan perspectives or fan journey. And unfortunately, for the newer fans that haven't experienced the Cups, their expectations are a little different. And a lot of people I've heard, are happy with just making the playoffs. As you all know, I'm not happy just making the playoffs. It's cup or bust. That's it. Making the playoffs is nothing to be proud of. Yeah, it's a nice little thing, but it's nothing I'm going to celebrate or applaud. Absolutely not. Just making the playoffs is not applause-worthy. It just isn't. We need to go farther, and we need to win a cup. Win a damn cup. It might take a while, guys. It might, but it might not. And then back to the people that were killing me about being negative about the Fitzgerald press conference. I mean, again, I just can't say with a straight face that I thought it was good. I just can't. And people are going to say, oh, what did you want him to say? And if he says too much, he's damned, and damned if he doesn't. I didn't want him to get out there and be like, oh, we're going to win the cup. Let's go. Like, I didn't need him to do all that. But I didn't want him to do what he did, which just kind of seemed like almost beaten down and defeated. And again, the message I took and many others did was that he was just happy to be there. Make the playoffs, and that's a win. That's not a win. That is not a win. And I think I personally am way more optimistic about the team next year maybe than Fitz is. Maybe internally he is way more optimistic than he shows, but just give us a little something. Give a little sales pitch. Give, it doesn't need to be a Rudy speech, but just give something for the fans to be like, all right, he's with us. We're trying to really do this. And it just seemed like more of the long game type of conversation. And it is what it is. But I feel way more confident in the team going into next season. And I will tell you, I do believe personally that we are much better. With Markstrom and this defense, we are much better. We will be much harder to score against. Much harder. The defense is way better. Markstrom is way better than anything we had. And with some of the bottom six guys, we're going to be much more difficult to play against. I think the culmination of all of those improvements outweighs the fact that we missed on the top six. I really do. I would have loved to see it. And again, I didn't need a superstar. Stamkos, Marcia, show all these names. Would have been nice, but I wasn't necessarily looking for that to call it a success. Just something better than Tatar, I think, would have been preferred by many. But that didn't happen. Here we are. I think all the other improvements outweigh the perceived miss in the top six, and we're going to give up way less goals. And so we might score less, but here's the reality. Let's just say over the course of the season, we score 25, 30 less goals, but we give up 60 to 70 less. That's a massive win, and that can result in a ton of wins. I do expect us to win some 2-1, 3-2 games this year. I do not think every game is going to be pond hockey, 6-4, 5-3, 7-4. I don't think we're going to see as many of those. You're going to see them on some nights for sure. Our group sometimes won't be able to contain themselves. Those boys could get flying, and sometimes they could finish. But we're going to have to embrace winning ugly games. I do believe Markstrom is going to steal points for us left and right. There's going to be nights where we had no business winning the game, and Markstrom will be the difference maker, and he will be the reason we won. Stealing points, we weren't getting that last year. And we're just going to be grittier, and I think that matters. Again, that's a whole other crowd that doesn't believe in that. Listen, I can only go with what I've seen in my time as a fan over 30 years, and I think you saw it a little bit in this playoffs as well. Those gritty, grindy teams, you need those guys in your lineup to go far in the playoffs and win a cup. You really do. I've been preaching that forever. I firmly believe that. And I think with the guys we got in the offseason, that's going to bring us a long way in that department. And again, I think that's going to be great for team morale and on-ice production and results. I believe we could compete for the division. I firmly believe that. And call me crazy, I already said on our earlier show that I believe worst-case scenario is the team wins a playoff round next year. I firmly believe that. And I will also say, and maybe I'm just hopped up off delusions and hope, but I believe this group could win a cup. If we play like the team we think we can be, if Markstrom is healthy and is on top of his game, we get hot at the right time, there's no reason why this team cannot win a Stanley Cup. And a lot of you are going to say that's delusional, this, that, and the other thing. But I believe in this club, and I really believe in the goaltending and defense. And that is a trademark of the Dynasty Devils, the old school days. Our goaltending and defense was stellar. And not to compare, the current goaltending and defense situation to that one, because, again, we grew up spoiled, guys, for you old-timers. Martin, Brodeur, and net with Scott Stevens and Scott Niedermayer on the blue line, amongst all the other legends like Danico, White, Rafalski, all these guys that we saw over the years. Those are 3 all-time greats. The NHL put out a list 5 years ago of the top 100 NHL players of all time. Martin, Brodeur, Scott Stevens, Scott Niedermayer, all on the list. So I'm not going to say, that Markstrom, Pesce, and Dillon are that. I mean, that would just be disrespectful to absolute legends. And no disrespect to the current guys. It's nowhere near the same. But it is way more reminiscent of that kind of foundation and building block than what we had last year. That is undeniable. And for that reason, I believe this team could be really special this year. Hang on for the ride. I will be here all the time talking about this. But again, everyone just needs to calm down. The fan base is kind of split into 2 groups. And it is what it is. Just have respectful conversations. That's kind of what I wanted all this for. To hear different thoughts of you and just talk to fans and have fans be heard. And that's going to be a big part of the lives going forward. We're going to have the call-ins. You guys' voices will be heard on the show. That's what it's about. That is what it is about. Love talking to all of you. And also going into the future, I'm hoping to do a little more of like history sharing. I realized there is a bunch of younger fans that don't really know a lot about the history, and a lot of them seem kind of eager and hungry to learn about it. So I'm going to try to do my best to figure out how I do that, whether I make videos or compile videos and point out other reference materials, existing videos, books, things of that nature. I'm going to try to figure all that out because I do think that is something that the younger fans need. And that was also part of the goal of the channel as well. I feel like as a fan from that time period, as we move further along into time, a lot of those legends and stories and lore is kind of lost in the sauce over time. It just kind of fizzles away, and it's not really talked about or remembered as much. And I feel like being a fan at that time and now with the audience here on the channel, I feel like a custodian of sorts of those stories and that time period of Devils hockey. And so I am going to try my best with the help of others, whether it's other fans, players, whatever it is, I'm going to do my best to try to pass these stories along to the next generation, because that is the building blocks of the franchise. It was the glory years and where we're trying to get back to. So it's all exciting stuff. I have tons of stuff planned. I'm excited. We're a little more than 2 months plus-ish away from the preseason, and I'm really excited to see what this team could do. Let me know in the comments what you think about anything Devils hockey, what I said in this video. But in summary, everyone chill out. I want to win now. I support Fitzy. I think he did a pretty good job this summer, and I'm hoping for the best. I'm an old school fan with the win now mentality, and I want to see a cup. That's it, guys. I will talk to you all soon. I love you all. Thank you for watching. If you're newer to the channel, go into the channel, poke around. There's a lot of old school interesting videos, more recent stuff. The Devils Rangers Game 7 elimination videos always bring a smile to my face from the 23 season. There's tons of those on there. All kinds of interesting stuff. Poke around, take a look. And I will talk to you all soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.